What's going on? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the show. Gonna get some live trading in potentially here on ES. I'm on Top Step X. This is a combine. You can see my P&L for this morning is at 83 bucks, a whopping $83 today. I was close. I think I was close to 500, like 475 earlier. Got taken out on a couple of these more whippier moves before I hopped on here with you guys. But we'll see what we get here. 10 o'clock, Jerome Powell was speaking. I think he's answering questions now. He was testifying. I believe he's answering his questions now. I think that's why we are seeing a lot of this volatility. I know that's why we're seeing a lot of this volatility. Gonna just start to see what structure, if we get any structure that starts to form now that we've broken up below this pre-market low. Want to give it a minute after this wild move and this uptick in volume that we've had going on right now. Take a look at Bookmap together and see if we can't get some trades in before New York lunch. What's up, Andre? Yeah, man, feeling better. Still got like a little tiny bit of it. You could probably hear it. Still a little nasally, but feeling much better, man. Glad. Good morning, man. Glad to be on the other side of that. Let's say. I hate being sick. I usually don't get sick. I don't know what's been going on with me this year. I've had a couple of colds, but it's not fun, man. $27 points to say I'm going fishing. Nice, man. Nice. Andre says short from your prior day high. Very nice, man. Very nice. That's a solid play. I've been doing my best to stay in long America mode when I'm looking at the chart these days, just because that is what my data is telling me. Trade along with the market that's been tearing higher. But like I say, don't marry bias. Watch the price action and structure that's forming. You know, we're trading for a few hours here on the low time frames. You know, what's going on the monthly chart, the weekly chart. I don't know if that's really going to be more helpful than it is harmful, carrying that really, really long-term bias. So watch what we had at the open here, right? We pushed all the way up in pre-market, broke pre-market high, we were above prior day high, broke pre-market high here again, cracked up. Now we've kind of got some bearish structure forming, broken below pre-market low. Looks like we got a chance to run down to this area where we did have orders sitting on Bookmap. Stop to break even. I'm already scared. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, protect capital. Don't let it turn into a loser if you're in that much profit, you know, somewhere around. It already hit, you know, 40 ticks, 10 points. But let's go ahead and take a look at Bookmap. It has been really awesome to be able to utilize Bookmap. Make sure I can see this on the screen. Yeah, we can see most of this. So this is live Bookmap data. It does say simulated trading down here. I'm not trading from Bookmap. You can connect a broker and actually trade from Bookmap. But before I get the comments of he's paper trading, that's what we got going on. I show you guys what I'm doing. It's a sim account anyway. It's on a combine. Combine's not real money. So XFA technically isn't even real money. It's still in a sim account. Anyway, this is the Bookmap screen. This is my setup that I have right now. Still making some adjustments, still changing some stuff up. Real quick, I'm not the Bookmap expert, but I'll give you guys the brief overview. This is a heat map, obviously, right here, showing liquidity by way of live active orders, buy and sell orders with quantity in the market that we're trading. This is the ES chart. This is the live market here, past this line right here. This is the live stuff, as you can see it changing and moving. Everything past this line is historical. You could see the time chart down here as to where we are. You could zoom in and out on this thing. You can scroll up and down. In the middle, you have best bid and ask price, showing you current price right over here. You've got volume bubble showing you the quantity that's traded. This is your depth of market. This is your order book right here, current order book. Sell orders resting, as you can see, it correlates with where we could see, the heat map lighting up. Over here, you've got different volumes, session volume and current volume based on what we're looking at on the chart and based on the session. How I've been looking at one other note, the orders here that follow price, I believe, are kind of this, they're always there. It's kind of this algorithm, constant moving of buy and sell orders above and below price. It's really not what I'm focusing on. What I like to focus on are these areas down here. You can see at a price like 56.26, we've got some orders resting in the market. These have been on the book for a while. They're still here. You could see the actual volume if you wanted to. You could use a whole bunch of different tools to display even more detailed information. But for me, this is showing me there's liquidity here at this price level right here, right now in the live market. It's more than the surrounding area. That's how this heat map works. Changes colors as you scroll in and out because it's displaying the color up here, this scale, from least being black to most being red, volume of orders on the heat map based on what you're viewing on the chart. So if I don't want to do that. So if I scroll all the way up here, you could see, colors change. If I scroll out and down, you could see, the colors that are displaying change, right? Like these are yellow here. If I start to scroll down, you can see them turn brighter because I'm displaying less orders. This is all black. And, that's kind of just the overview of it. Obviously, you can see it on the DOM as well. You can see it on depth of market there. How I've been using this and how I've been starting to look at it is, one, to view the liquidity, where it is, watch what happens as price starts to come up to it. These levels tend to act like magnets. Price is drawn to liquidity. If we understand the basics of market mechanics, we know what's going on. We know that price needs liquidity. It's drawn to liquidity. That's why you hear people talk about liquidity pools, liquidity sweeps, targeting liquidity, the whole deal. This is what we're looking at both in historical data and in live market data. It's not something special, this data. This is your standard level 2 data. It's just displayed in a much different way. Here would be your more standard depth of market that you could get from any futures broker that you would see. Again, this is just a fancy way to display it. To me, it does look complicated, but I find it very easy to read. It's quick to glance at right now for me to look and say, hey, we've got orders resting up here. Let's see what happens. Are they still there? Yeah, they are still there. I could zoom in and actually see, where these orders are resting in the market. Let's see what happens as price comes up to them. Do they get pulled from the market? Is it spoofing? Is it, kind of BS? Do they not fill? Does price go up there? You could see volume traded, and those orders did get filled, and you start to see a reaction off of that level. They can be used as support and resistance areas. You can see where the liquidity is to target it. How I've been using it is for that reason. Hey, I got a long bias based on everything that goes into my trading. I'm deciding that I want to go long. I've got a clear indication that maybe up here at 56.41, we've got a high volume of orders. I'm just making an example here. I might want to target that. Pay attention to what's on my chart, everything that I do, market structure, price action, volume, my levels. I might want to pay attention to that as a target. If we get there and maybe it's before my TP, I see a big reaction to the downside, probably an indication that those orders filled and, now we're coming off. We're going to come back down to, another level or a different area of liquidity. If I'm short here, maybe I'm paying attention to what's going on at this level here. You'll also see these levels usually aren't just random levels on the candlestick chart. This level right here, 56.26, is prior day's volume point of control. This was the highest area of volume traded, at least for how I market and classify it for the session yesterday. I'll move Bookmap now. We can come away from that. You can see 56.26 right here is volume point of control, found by using the fixed range volume profile or a different session volume profile tool that you use. So yeah, Bookmap has been awesome. Really been cool to utilize this morning. Taking trades, utilizing that information, targeting those areas of liquidity, and being cautious of where a stop loss might be if I'm trading and there is some liquidity below my position, being cautious of where I'm placing a stop loss because maybe price goes there first, fills, and then continues. You could also see, does price break through it, just like breaking through a level? Do those orders get filled and then buyers are continuing to the upside? Volume is strong and we continue up. So it's been really cool to watch. I think it's going to be very useful. I think it'll be a game changer. I don't see how it will really be a drawback for me. It's more information. You got to be cautious of how much you're taking in. But yeah, it's sweet, man. Order flow is sweet. I want to know that information. Didn't have it in the Forex market. Didn't have reliable volume data. And this is new stuff that I've been trying to incorporate into my trading slowly, experiment with, see what works for me. Maybe a couple weeks go by and I decide I don't want to use Bookmap. I want to use some other order flow tool. Maybe I want to use I want to focus on a footprint chart. I want to use Sierra charts or I want to use more traditional DOM. I'll see how that goes. But for right now, I don't anticipate that. I've decided on Bookmap after doing some research and decided on something that I think will fit my the way I read the market, my personality style, my ability to process that type of information, and it's been sweet. So I'll continue to show you guys. I'll talk about it as I'm trading. I'll talk about how it's impacting my trading. But so far, awesome. Really awesome. Chat, what's going on? Can you do a demo on Bookmap? Do you have a paid version? This is Bookmap. Yes, paid version of Bookmap. So this is... Pal does it again, boys. Okay, I'm out. Yeah, so that this Bookmap that I'm showing you guys here, this is the just under the highest paid version. I think it's called Global. There's a Global Plus, which has some additional tools. Not really so different on the heat map. There's a bunch of add-ons that you could pay for as well. This one fit the bill for everything that I wanted to pay attention to right off the bat. You have a ton of things I could add on here or change the way this looks, colors, the information over here, information down here. This is cumulative volume delta. That's a tool that I paid attention to in the past. But this is paid. I believe I'm at, with the data, the live data, level 2 data from Bookmap as well, I'm going to be around the $90 a month, $80 or $90 a month. You have to pay for the platform on a monthly subscription or yearly subscription, and then you have to pay for live data. If you don't have data coming from another broker that can be used by Bookmap, you have to pay for that data on a monthly fee. You can pick whatever you want, DXFeed or another data provider. Bookmap has their own source of data directly from CME as well. They've got packages for a whole bunch of different instruments depending on what data you need. But yeah, discounts. They've got discounts for like first month on data and on the platform, the software as well. But it is paid. Is it cheap? I mean, it's all relative. How much is this going to help you or hurt you? What is cheap or expensive relative to you? But as the saying goes, cheap stuff ain't good and good stuff ain't cheap. So in the grand scheme of things, not a big deal for me. With trading, the fees to operate are, are like almost non-existent in my world. You used to have to pay big money for a seat to get yourself on a trading floor. We don't have to do that anymore. Hop on a broker, you deposit your money or you pay for a prop firm and, you're trading, you're good to go. So if you want some additional information, software that's got some more detailed information, you want level 2 data, you pay for that. Not anything crazy in my opinion. Yeah, so those orders still on here. We got some orders even down below, but price is still creeping up. Not a whole lot stacked above, even if I just adjust this and take a look. Some orders at this psychological round number, 5650. You can see that. Not a whole lot though. And then this looks like orders on the book right here. That's kind of meshing with this, what I would call like algorithmic, continuing to move with price above and below liquidity. But I believe there's some liquidity right up here. You can see right here on the DOM. So let's get this out of here. And again, guys, I'm fresh on Bookmap. I'm not the Bookmap expert. I don't even know all the tools that are available and how I will read them, interpret them, and apply it to trading decisions. So it's going to be, learning as I go for me. Try to be upfront with that. I don't try to pretend to know something that I don't. So that's where I'm at with that. I'll keep you guys updated. Yeah, again, kind of just doing that tutorial, waiting to see what's going on as Pal's talking. I don't really want to be involved in this craziness. I figured I would be wrapping up my trading right around that 10 p.m. I got some trades in between 10 and 10:30, and that's where I gave back money. I was doing well. Again, I think my resting P&L, I have to go back. I was recording. My resting P&L was like around 475 on the day, not taking on massive amount of risk, and gave that back. So after watching this happen, slice down, either wanted to see some continuation, which we weren't getting, creeping right back up, and now we're coming back up towards highs, all-time highs of the day. So I'm going to stay a little bit patient on this. If we start breaking up and we see a little bit of follow-through, I'm going to look to get long and try to capitalize on maybe one of those slow grind days. We come back down, it's going to be dicey, right? Like here's the cheap trade for the range. You want to take it short right here, targeting, back down to VWAP somewhere in the middle here where all this volume's being traded. That's not a bad move. I'm finding that hard. We're getting this expansion now, right? Profile of the day. We had a little bit of a bullish trend here. Started to break down. Got some bearish action, right? Low put in, not cracking below this. Pulled up. Lower high, lower low. Now we're pulling all the way back up. Not super easy price action to trade. Just like on Friday, I was demonstrating to you guys, this is the type of market structure that I just get eaten up on. I'll be taking trades off of levels, so I'll do okay, like I did this morning right here. Maybe I was getting long over here. I'll do okay on the really aggressive stuff. But it's just chopping back and forth through levels that really starts to kill me. I'll also take trades off the VWAP. That wouldn't have worked out too well. So we'll kind of just do the wait and see thing for a minute. 10:47. We got over an hour before New York lunch, where volume typically starts to die down. But I'm with you guys here in the morning, not for the open, but for part of the morning session. Wanted to get some trading in with you guys. So I'm on a combine that that I don't mind getting aggressive with. I don't mind hitting a daily loss limit with. So that's where I'm at with this one. I don't mind getting some trades in as long as they make sense and provide me a good way to structure risk. Fit my standard criteria for entry. We can take some trades. All right, man. Andre says, if you have the paid version, there is an amazing function that I think is included in any paid plan. Iceberg tracker and absorption tracker, they are amazing for detecting reversals. I don't think they are included. So I know about both of those. I think it's a heavy add-on for any of the paid programs, for any of the paid software for Bookmap. I'll have to confirm it. I know they've got so many cool tools that guys use that really just display the information that's there in a clearer way. Large lot tracker, they've got that pops up on the chart, which can be helpful. The iceberg for sure is helpful. Briefly looking at it when I was getting a lot of it set up, I saw that there was a lot of additional paid stuff, so I wasn't looking to just jump right at that. I'm going to go with the basics first, start to get a read for it, decide what I like and what I don't like, and then look to add from there. But I do know about that, and I hear a lot of guys that use it talk about it, and I think that stuff can be helpful. So we'll see. When I checked, though, I think it is an add-on because there's a lot of additional indicators, a suite of indicators that are add-ons, but maybe it's the Global Plus deal that has it, and I'll decide, I want to upgrade. So testing with it, but really, really cool to utilize so far. Got some guys talking in the Discord. Yeah, pal. Yeah, man. So sitting here watching the market, again on ES on the 1 minute. If you're here and you're not in the free Discord, hop in the free Discord. I'm going to put that up here. Boom. This way I don't have to say it 30,000 times. That visible. Kind of sucks to see Pal slam the low I was targeting in 3 minutes. All good. 2022 didn't come in for me. What are we talking about with 2020? We're talking about ICT stuff? You guys talking about your silly ICT models? Let's look at you guys with your ICT. Hey, whatever works for you. Got some orders stacking up now at 56.45. And not a whole lot below. 56.38 is a little bit above that. 56.36 right down around. Yeah, so we got some liquidity down here, some liquidity up here. This would be okay for a break and retest. Came back down, right? We didn't crack above this with some force. Came back down, are retesting to bounce up potentially. I don't love this yet. I don't like this for a way to structure risk. Had we come down here, I'm looking for a place to get long. If that's not obvious, I'm gonna try. Where's my? There we go. I'm gonna try to stay with that. If we're just gonna chop around all day, that's fine. If we're not gonna respect levels and not give me clean setups to trade to and from, I'm just not gonna get too many trades. We're outside of prior day high and pre-market high. We're above all that, above the VWAP. I want to look for longs, maybe targeting some liquidity using Bookmap. This would have been a little bit better for me, cracking back down here to the VWAP to prior day high, kind of picking up a move down here somewhere, and then continuing to the upside. Nice safe place to have a stop loss down here. I don't want to enter here with a stop loss right down here because I think price can come here. So, which it's doing right now. I'm going to wait and see what happens when we get down here. But I am looking long. Still looking long. You know, zooming out on the 1 minute, this is not really high time frame, but we came up, pulled back down, came back up, and we've just consolidated, chopped around, ranged right here. Now we've broken above and below it, and we don't have a ton of clear direction. If we start to trail up, I think there's potential for one of those slow grind to the upside days. We're not really getting that right now. Still early, but I'm looking for that to happen. I'm going to wait for a little bit more indication that that's going to happen, because so far this is not giving me a lot to trade off of. If you guys got questions, ask them in the chat. You know the deal. Just don't ask me about ICT. I got everybody. Listen, man. Like I was saying in the chat, I try not to talk down on anybody. Just in life in general, you know. If you are feeling poorly about somebody else, you know, sometimes it's just a reflection on you, or you know, you might as well just keep your opinion to yourself. Talk about the guys that are doing well. You know, build people up the best you can. I try to do that. If something works for you in trading, great. If it doesn't, you know, maybe look elsewhere. There's guys that make ICT work. I don't know a ton of them that do super duper well with it. I see a lot of guys that use it that struggle, and I personally think it's very, very overcomplicated. It's just my humble opinion. I think it's one of those deals where we're desperately trying to provide a why behind every price movement in the market, and whether you can or not, I don't know that that's super helpful. I've also pissed everybody off. I wasn't targeting the ICT mob, but pissed everybody off when I talked about liquidity, and made a comment if you're not using any order flow data, any level 2 data that's showing you liquidity when we're talking about resting live orders with their quantity in the market, then you don't know where the liquidity is. You might assume where it is. You might even have a reasonable accuracy assuming where it is, but you're not using the tool that tells you where it is. So I had 100 comments with ICT guys trying to explain how they could tell me where liquidity was with certainty on a candlestick chart. And I argued that they don't know what they're talking about for a lot of it. So I don't go back and watch the reel of me from 2 days ago, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Fun stuff. Again, I think a lot of terms, and I'll build on that quickly while I'm watching this. I don't have anything, guys. I'm not getting short here. This isn't a level for me. I'm not shorting the highs. Here was the cheap trade like I was talking about. We're back down into this area where we did have some liquidity. We had some orders, you know, not a whole lot stayed on the market. It looks like to me, looking at Bookmap, that most of it, there's definitely some selling volume that came in for sure. But there's not a whole lot to utilize right now, at least for me on Bookmap. I can see the stuff above and below. The stuff at 56.45 has kind of come off. I'll show you guys. I want to be able to watch my chart, but so the orders, a lot of the orders that were sitting at 56.45 have started to come off. They're down at 56.42, above the algorithmic stuff that's following it. Below price, right around the 56.30 level. That's what I'm seeing. Kind of a wide spread from, like, let's say 56.31.5 it starts all the way down to 56.30. You know, down here. So again, I don't have a trade here. We're slicing back and forth through. I'm not just the assume that we're going to be in a range for the day and take the high and the low in the opposite direction. So we're back down around this level. I want to see, do we start to find some support here? This is the move that's a pullback, and now we're going to continue to the upside. Do we just come all the way back down and start bouncing around and pulling this BS? Do we crack down below this low over here? Again, I'm looking long at the moment. We start to get a reaction here and start to pull back up. I might go for it with a pretty wide stop loss. Targeting a higher high. That's potential right now. But we will just kind of wait and see from there. Here's the reaction to the upside. Yeah, there's a lot down here. There's a lot down here on Bookmap. Yeah, I'm gonna wait to see if we pull back down further. I don't have the confidence in this trade to take this long right now. I think there's a reasonable case to be made that this is going to come down here, and we might be in for one of those just super rangy days. Maybe we'd start taking little bounce trades off of these levels or attempting to, but I'm going to hang for a little bit. But yeah, if you're here with me live, I appreciate you being here. Feel free, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, helps me out. If not, it's free. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. Feel free to join the free Discord. Free, no VIP paywall. I charge to work with me one-on-one. That's it. But I give everything out for free anyway. My outside of implementation and working with you one-on-one to create the plan, the important stuff that does go on in the one-on-one. I give you my strategy. I give you my my live trading. I talk about, answer questions, really anything to do with my trading. No secrets, no magic, no BS. Show you the good, the bad. Trade live, right from whatever platform I'm utilizing. Market insights every day. I give you my charts ahead of pre-market open with a voice message, giving you my analysis. Alerts on news. Community of traders. 400 people and growing fast. Got some big stuff cooking that I'm excited about. That I really anticipate providing some awesome exposure for me and the community. So I'm excited about that coming up in the next couple months. Let's see, chat, all good. Kind of sucks to see Pal. Yeah, we're talking about that. How do I take my coffee? If you take any, I drink coffee sometimes with cream and sugar, sometimes black. I'm guessing that's a joke, but I don't know. I don't know what I was referencing because I know I'm late looking at it. I got Bookmap open on the side, so my chat's blocked up for a lot of it. We're trying to find support down here. Got some orders coming back on at 56.45. Not super clear, guys. Not super clear yet. Just sitting right at VWAP, chopping back and forth to and from VWAP, trading a whole bunch right here. This is just chop. I'm stuck again, and I really want to trade live with you guys here. I want to get trades in. I want to be able to talk about trade management and risk management and my entries, and I haven't done that over the last handful of lives. So I'm antsy to trade with you guys here, but I gotta have something set up for me. Because right now I would take this either way. I think we can come up here, retest these highs, maybe start to break above. I think we can come down. I think we can sell off, come back down to pre-market low. We've tested this level. We're failing to break above. We're selling back off again, looking weak. So if I'm flipping a coin with it, that's not a great way to decide to take a trade. So going to wait a little bit. 11 o'clock, hour before New York lunch. We'll see what we get. But yeah, where I was going with that last thought, I keep things pretty simple. The way I talk about things is fairly simple. I think a lot in the trading community is overcomplicated. There's a lot of buzzword, seemingly new terms that are just kind of repurposed. I think you see a lot of that with ICT, or at least those, I don't know, the SMC, the, smart money institutional guys that are trading with the banks. I hear the way they talk about the market, and it seems very technical, but it seems to me like an overcomplication of just describing what's going on the chart. And a couple of things seem to be being described incorrectly, or they're utilizing the right language, but what they're describing is not really things that I believe you would see or know with any reasonable degree of certainty, like the way liquidity is spoken about. You can assume with maybe some reasonable degree of certainty. You can assume with some accuracy, without a reasonable degree of certainty, with some accuracy, where liquidity is going to be on a chart. But there's tools that tell you, at least in the futures market for specific markets, where exactly the liquidity is by way of orders, buy and sell orders, and their volume in the market at any given time and in historical action. On a price and time chart only, it doesn't display that. You are, you're using market structure and maybe historical data that you've compared against order flow to determine where you think liquidity is, but you don't really know where liquidity is. You don't know if liquidity's been swept because you didn't look at the order book and see that there were a large volume of resting orders there, and it stayed on the market, stayed on the order book. It filled. You could see that by the volume that was traded, and then it continued through or continued in the opposite direction. Maybe it just swept a high or a low. Maybe it just moved to a area of interest on the chart. So I think some of that stuff, it can be a little bit dicey. Again, I'm not going to be I'm not going to die on the sword of telling anybody they're wrong. I don't care, man. Whatever you want to do is up to you. I'm going to focus on my stuff. When I hear guys telling me something or arguing with me about it, I'm going to talk about it. And one of the reasons to use Bookmap and to use order flow is to see where the liquidity is. But start talking about stuff, and I get everybody telling me that ICT is winning the Robbins Cup and that he debunked order flow. Or I'm like, debunked order flow? Order flow is fake, or it's completely useless to everybody, even all of the professional traders, majority of professional traders that are using order flow. I don't know. So it's fun to ruffle some feathers sometimes. I try not to piss anybody off as my identity. I try to just let other people live, but it's funny to see such a strong cult following of anything with this kind of blind, I'll kill you if you say anything that contradicts or that anything else even works rather than even contradicts what I'm doing in this cult here. So anyway, still nothing. Still watching. What's up, bud? How do you do taxes? I am not going to provide, I think as a policy, I'm not going to provide any input on taxes whatsoever throughout this journey. I'll mention some things, about it at a certain point, but I'm not going to really answer any questions on it. Everybody's in a different situation. My general non-financial advice, non-suggestion talk about what I would do is to just get an experienced accountant, work with a company, maybe ones that deal with high net worth individuals that are used to dealing with the investment portfolios of people, and go from there. Find out what works best for you. That's a that question varies as well. 10-4, gentleman says 10-4, get it. You have to claim what you don't withdraw. Again, I'm not going to provide an answer on it. First off, I'm not a tax expert, right? I don't even know what the correct answers are to all of it. So I'm not gonna even stick my neck out there. But I appreciate you wanting to know. It's super important. You have to pay taxes, right, on pretty much everything in life, especially in the U.S. Multiple times over. That's a different conversation. But work with an experienced accountant is what I would be doing when it comes to paying taxes. Do your own research. Google this stuff. Understand where you are generating money and how that will be taxed or won't be taxed, and and make smart decisions there. I have so much in my account and haven't made any withdrawals. What account? We talking about a prop firm? We talking about a live futures firm, a Forex firm, a CFD firm, and are you in the U.S.? Again, I'm just asking questions. I'm not gonna provide. I'm gonna try hard not to provide any real answers to any of those types of questions because I don't know the answers to all of them. Taxes are unique to the individual, and it completely depends on a number of factors where you're located in the world or in the U.S. So. Craig, not to promote another YouTuber, but watch iMan trading exposing ICT. Yeah, sure, no problem. Live futures in the U.S. So yes, Google how are profits from futures trading taxed, and that should answer a lot of your questions. Google when they're taxed, how they're taxed, when you have to pay them, the whole deal, and that should start to give you a baseline. And then again, my suggestion is not my suggestion. What I do is talk to a tax professional, hopefully somebody that is experienced in dealing with profits and income from investments, from trading, from that. And usually those are guys that work with higher net worth individuals. In my humble opinion, that's the deal. Google to start, and then talk to a tax professional. Yeah, no pressure, man. And again, I don't mean to to not answer a question or deflect. I got to know my lane and stay in it. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a CPA. Not any of those things. So I shouldn't be answering any of those questions at all. But do your research, understand what you're going to be on the hook for. That's what I will say, or I would do. I would do my research. I would understand what I'm going to be on the hook for. I would have a good understanding, and then I would make sure I'm doing things that are the most beneficial to me. Like, how do taxes compare taking withdrawals from a prop firm versus live in the futures market? How do they compare to the stock market, to the Forex market, all of those things. Glad I didn't get long here. Selling off all the way back down to this level. I'm going to wait to see what happens down here. My gut tells me that if I don't start buying right now, I'm going to miss any opportunity in this area to buy if I wait for a reaction to the upside. If I want to take a trade off of one of my levels back into the range of the day, I got to be pretty aggressive with it. If we start to blast through it really aggressively, I don't want to be long. I won't know that unless I wait. So this is the nuances of entry. This is not a bad long down here for me. Obviously, this doesn't look very strong. We failed to break above here, back down below VWAPs. The whole deal. If I have a low of day anchored VWAP, which I would like to have right here, sellers stepping in, bears back in control. We're back down below this anchored VWAP here. I'm going to get rid of this blue one, which is the New York session, just because it's so close. I'm going to get rid of that as well for right now, just to show you guys what I look at with the anchored VWAP stuff. I mean, we got buy orders, we got volume utilizing bookmap. I do see more volume coming on the market, coming on and off the market actually. So I'm not sold at this 56.32, the 32 level, 33 level, that there's going to be a whole lot that stays on there. There's some more resting that's been there that hasn't been filled. It's been on for a while, right at 56.30 all the way down here. So again, I'm just I'm not taking anything right here. I'm not taking it just in general with a range day. That's just not my style of trading. It's not what I back test. It's not my entry. Didn't even tap this level. I would wait to see if we got down here, started to crack below, what happened. But here we go, back up to VWAP. Yeah, if anything right now, I'm looking at short. Again, I want it to be long. I figured we might see this start to come up here. Um, I'm looking for a potential short right now, back down towards 56.30. Utilizing bookmap, utilizing where we are in the day. Just locking in here, paying attention for a moment. Seven. Yeah, I was waiting for this level to get tapped right up here. Maybe we get it, but I might be too slow, or we're just waiting for a level to not get hit, because I'm looking on bookmap again, using bookmap a little bit, just to kind of refine. It's lining up exactly with the VWAP and my prior day high. So have I not been looking at bookmap, kind of what I would be looking at. I know I'm getting quiet here, guys. I'm just eyeballing a short. Yeah, still just watching my chart, looking to see what happens at this level. Um,
Order filled.
Go ahead and try this one from here, guys. I'm gonna go something along these lines is what I'm targeting. I'm not gonna go ahead and set a take profit. I'm gonna manage it as it comes down. If it comes down, what I'm looking at here on, ooh, what I'm looking at here on Bookmap is some orders, some liquidity, resting the market down around that 56.30 level. Kind of looking at this middle of the range back down to the lows move. Looking kind of weak, came up back around this VWAP line. Looks like sellers are trying to bring this thing lower. So I'll put a couple $100 of risk on the line to see if we can get a move down lower. Nothing really above that is super concerning. Yeah, that's what we got today. Yeah, I'll manage this one as price moves, as always. Nothing new there. We start to take a lot of heat on it. I might cut it early. We start to move in profit and then react. Maybe I will adjust from there. But for right now, we'll let this bad boy run. Again, just generally reading market structure as well. Do I think now from here we come all the way back up? Not really. I think we're likely to drift lower on this, just reading price action and market structure. Could easily be wrong and could pull all the way back up right away. One contract, one mini, not a whole lot. I was trading with 2 to 3 earlier, honestly. 3 at the high end, I would say the average was 1.5 because I'm between 1 and 2. So a little bit, a little bit of reduced risk on these accounts. When I'm risking the daily loss limit, I'll take $500-$600, maybe more on a single trade worth of risk. That's just the getting aggressive with a combine that you don't, you will risk blowing in the hopes of growing quickly, and just you're comfortable with that. Live future. My rule says stay away at this time, but I feel like just the fact that it's cheap, we aren't displacing lower. Yeah, man. Again, kind of coming into that New York lunch. 12 o'clock, 12 to 1. That's really what we call New York lunch. But yeah, I'm looking just for a little drift lower. Again, using Bookmap, I got orders sitting at 56.30. That's kind of what I'm looking at for a target on this. It's, part of the reason for the trade, getting some forward testing in with Bookmap. I'm going to go ahead and throw this on here so I know what I'm looking at. Yeah, it's kind of the low end of it. 56.30.5. Yeah, let's just leave it at a 1-to-1 for right now. Again, the more I trade, guys, this discretionary style of trading, the harder it is for me to talk about risk to reward. It's very dynamic. It changes as the trade goes on. I could talk about the initial risk and the ending profit. But I'm becoming more of a fan of looking at the data and what does the data show for the size of your winners versus the size of your losing trades over a large portion of trades. What is your risk to reward based on that number rather than each individual trade? Because, I enter having an understanding of where an invalidation point would be, but it changed very quickly. Like, I would not let this come up here. Really, even at the start, I'd probably be hitting the close button if it came all the way up here. At this point, I certainly wouldn't let it come back up here. I'll tell you, I'll cut it all the way down here. If we had to come back up and test at this point, yeah, I would go stop loss to break even since we're coming down. Oh, did I miss it by a tick? That's frustrating. So there was the quick pull all the way back down, tapped right into that area. We did get some orders filling right at that 56.31. Again, trying to read Bookmap with you guys.
Order filled.
There we go. Nice win. $225. Comes down and fills. I'll show you what this is on Bookmap, guys. It's pretty cool to see. This is looking pretty bearish, but as you can see, we got reaction here. So check this out. This was the power of Bookmap on that trade. And again, I'm not the Bookmap expert. I just got set up with it, and I'm just starting to read order flow. So far, it's a game changer. It feels like cheating in the markets. It really does. But here's what I'm looking at. Here was 56.30, right? Let me zoom out a little bit. You guys see this? Yeah, let me know if you could see this or if this is jacked up. When I move stuff around with the software that I use to record, I can't ever tell if you could see this type of stuff or where my face is. And I don't know. I'm better at trading than I am at recording 37 different screens on my 37 different screens. So here's what I was looking at, right? Here's the orders from a few minutes ago. It's 11:26. Here's 11:22, 11:23. You could see this is the algorithmic, let's call it that for right now. I don't really know what the term is, so correct me if I'm wrong. This liquidity that kind of just stays above and below price as price moves, which is right here, best bid and ask, and your volume bubbles. But look at the liquidity that's been sitting here at 56.30. As we started to come lower, I got short, anticipating that we would come down here, price would be drawn to this liquidity, and it would want to fill down here. We didn't have anything really above that was super concerning. We have some stuff that's been sitting up here. If you look past all this a little bit, you could definitely see that. But this was the target right here. And what happened as we zoom in? Whoa. Sorry, guys. Let's come back. Here was our 56.30 level, right? Initially, when price started to move down, we had some liquidity come up right here, 56.32. That got filled. You could see with price, if you really wanted to zoom in, you could see price coming down and then the volume bubbles increasing. You could see it start to come back down into this area and see the volume that's traded all the way back down into this liquidity. You can see liquidity come on and off, be moved around, right? Spoofing, big orders, moving stuff around, algorithms moving stuff around, but it was drawn to this level, 56.30. What was my target? Yeah, I went a little bit above 56.30. What the hell was I targeting, guys? I'm sorry. Yeah. I'll go back and look at the fill. But that's the baseline of it. I'm sorry. I'm getting too zoomed in and too nuanced here. But that's the baseline of it. We watched the price come down, tap into these levels, and and create a winning trade for us. Great. Congratulations. Does this happen all the time? I don't know. I haven't traded enough with it to see how frequently these levels are used as support and resistance, supply and demand. I know liquidity's there. I understand market mechanics. I understand why price is drawn to liquidity. I understand a little bit about fake liquidity, the spoofing that's done, the algorithms, their algorithmic stuff, orders coming on and off the market very, very quickly. But you can see where liquidity is, and maybe you want to pay attention to that as price is moving to or from a certain area. That's what we had going on here. From a candlestick chart perspective, we failed to go higher here. This is looking very rangy. Pulled back, broke down, pulled back up, stayed below this VWAP line. Again, was anticipating a run back down here to test liquidity. And that's what we got. That's what we got. What was the actual... Yep. I got the bottom tick. I literally bottom ticked it with that one. And again, what was I doing there? I saw liquidity sitting around that round number, 5630, the absolute bottom here. A safe bet is to go a few ticks above that. That's been my my way of going about this. Do I need it to push all the way through that liquidity? No. Maybe just tap into it. Maybe it's not going to get all the way in there. Maybe it's going to start to come off, and we're not going to push lower. So you don't have to bottom tick or top tick anything, but I happen to bottom tick that with that take profit. So not a huge win, but winning trade. Back to a little bit of profit for today. Again, went in light, one contract. Not the type of price action that I get really aggressive on, not the type of structure that I get really aggressive on, but a winning trade. Let me go ahead and throw... Sorry, guys. $56.35.25. Boom. Stop loss was somewhere up here. Yeah, you can see how the morning turned right over here. Made some on combines. Would you look long back to the top of the range and find these I find these ranges hard. Not a lot, but just enough chart in chat. Cool, man. Thank you, Andre. Yeah, guys, if you're interested in seeing other traders' charts and the trades they're taking, Andre is posting stuff who's on this live right now in the Discord. Hop in the free Discord. To answer Alex's question, no, not at the moment. I'm not looking long right now back to the range. I find ranges hard. I don't specifically trade ranges. I don't wait for price to do this and decide, okay, that's a range, and I'm gonna start taking trades because I identify this down here, and I identify this up here, and I think we're just gonna continue to bounce at these levels. That's not my style of trading. Once we start to consolidate and go back and forth like this, I tend to stay out of the markets. That's my deal. I get chewed up. I don't like that. Early in the morning, I'll utilize these levels very aggressively. I'll take sells as price is coming up to pre-market high or prior day high. Above the VWAP, I'll be counter trend, but I'll make them fairly quick scalp trades, just targeting the level below it, a quick move back down. That's kind of where I take range-bound trades, quick aggressive trades off of certain levels. Earlier in the day, at the first test of the level, I'll try to do that. After that, I'm trying to trade more along with the trend, with the market structure that's forming. Are we forming bullish price action or bearish price action? Are we getting above or below the VWAP? If we're not, and we're just getting this, I typically stay out because I find I take more losses than I do wins. My losses are larger than my winners, all the stuff that says I'm not going to make money in the long run. So, I identify those conditions, and that's that. There's plenty of trades to be had every day for the way that I trade, almost every morning. There's days that I stay out, but on almost every morning, pending there's not a ridiculous amount of news or certain other factors, I find myself trading. As we get later in the day, I try to look to see, can I trade with price action, with market structure? Are we drifting higher? Are we drifting lower? Do we have some levels and things lining up? I don't just continually take buys off of where I think the bottom of the range is or sells off the bottom of the range. In this case, it would have worked okay. And it might continue to work okay. But this type of price action like we see on Friday, I try to stay out of. When we get it really early in the morning and I'm taking my aggressive stuff, I tend to get chewed up like I did on Friday. So we got to win, guys. Thanks a mil. Join the Discord. Oh, for sure, brother. Happy to have you, man. You're early in. Welcome in. For anybody that's here, I'm not a cocky, arrogant type of a guy, but I'm confident. I'm putting a lot of time and effort into what I'm doing here. If you can't see that, maybe it's not translating well. But I have things in the works. I'm putting as much time and energy and money into growing this community, this free community that I'm running, and my ability to help traders in a one-on-one environment as best I can. I got some really cool stuff in the works that I'm just going to hint at like that in a vague way over the next couple months that I believe is going to grow this community, my exposure exponentially. We're about to blow up, boys. No, joking around. But yeah, I'm happy that you're here early. Thank you for watching. I hope you find it valuable. Ask me questions. Again, if and when this community does grow, my exposure grows, I'll have a higher volume of questions and people to answer. It grows every day. I won't have as much time. So I'm happy to have this type of small community right now. It's fun. I get to interact with the same guys, have, conversations with them every day, really get to know everybody. So take advantage, talk in the chat. Let me know what's up. Show me the wins, show me the losses, ask me questions, whatever I can help with. Happy to do so. Yeah. Again, guys, you know the way that I talk about trading as well. It's fun to celebrate the winners. This is a pretty simple one. Happened to play out pretty nicely. Could have easily missed this target and been getting stopped at break even. This could have easily been not the way that the market wanted to move and move to stop loss. No huge risk to reward for what I took on initially. Probably a 1-to-1 sitting somewhere like that. But profit made. $225. Have this been one of my XFAs? We hit the profit target for the day, $200. You stack a couple of those up, you're on your way to making money. Maybe you're daisy chaining 5 of them together, and you're making some real money. So glad we got one in. I'm watching now to see. I'm maintaining kind of this short bias right now. Obviously, we're not still moving lower. Bookmap isn't giving me anything spectacular. I do see orders stacking up a little bit at 56.40, back up at this area to the top of the range. Sell orders. I see some buy orders down around 28 and 25, all the way down to this area here, down near the volume point of control. So there's also still quite a bit sitting now back on the book at 56.30. Right down around this level. So my gut tells me, my intuition tells me, if we're going to continue outside of the pre-market high or low, it's going to be low. Gun to my head, I'm going short. Not back up to the top of the range. But I don't have a great way to structure risk doing that. So I'm going to sit on the sidelines for right now. I'll probably miss the trade. I will miss the trade if we start to come all the way down to this level. It's too late. So I could take another short, targeting really the same thing, but even lower, a break of the low that we're going to continue. Sorry, I got to close Discord for the minute, guys. Too many alerts going on. So let's watch Bookmap. Let's look at Bookmap again together. The cheat code. No, again, man, I'm realistic. I try to have realistic expectations. Too early to tell anything. I gotta work with this stuff for a while. So far, feels like a game changer. Feels like you have X-ray vision. You can see where the orders in the market are. Again, as you zoom in and out, the colors on this thing change because you're displaying different amounts of data in a different way. If I find where I start to display some of these peaks in volume for orders on the order book, you could start to see what I'm talking about here, where we've got some orders. This was stacking up a little bit right here, right back around that 5640 level. We got some up above this algorithmic stuff at that 5637. And again, what I was talking about, a little bit down towards 28 and 2625, that area, that volume point of control from yesterday. So watching that, starting to come down. Testing that pre-market low again. Looking like we want to sell off. Is that visible? Let's see. Yeah. This way I don't have to say it so many times. Also, if you guys don't know, disclaimer, none of this is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm an idiot on YouTube that is talking about candlesticks and colorful charts. Do your own research. Most traders lose money. You're probably going to lose money if you trade. Almost nobody makes any money doing this. So don't take anything that I am putting out as content or saying or doing as a suggestion or recommendation to do anything. All for entertainment purposes only. Make sure you read the full disclaimer at realdealfutures.com. That's my website. Or in the description of this video. Read CFTC Rule 4.41. I always forget the number, 4.4. About simulated trading. This is a combine. That's what I'm on here, guys. Funded accounts, even until you get to a live account with a prop firm, are in demo, simulated environment. It's different. Different. Oh, listen, man. Andre says, might not be financial advice, but you're not an idiot, bro. It's out for debate. I'll let you guys decide. I hop on and do my thing, and you guys decide things for yourself. But glad we got a win. Glad I got a trade in. I mean, again, if I'm being honest here, and I'm always trying to be honest. I was a little bit of that. Taking that trade was a small portion of it was just being antsy, coming on live and not being able to take a trade with you guys. I'm glad I did. Again, I'm somewhat still hesitant using new tools like Bookmap. I told myself and wrote into my plan this week, I'm going to be forward testing Bookmap, take that into consideration with my results, that type of a deal. I've watched it. I've studied it quite a bit. All of last week I was watching it. I'm comfortable enough where I can start to just touch the tip of that iceberg of utilizing it in my trading. That's what I'm doing. But part of this trade was I want to take a trade with you guys on here live. If I say I'm going to live trade and there's a whole week of our live trading videos and no trading being done, it's kind of tough. So hopped on, made a little money. I'm still off of the high of the day, which was like 475 P&L. Again, this isn't massive. 2 contracts would have been double, but not a big deal either way. I use dynamic risk management based on a number of different things, but the trades I am more confident. I have more conviction in. I have a better way of structuring risk. Things are lining up to tell me that I want to be in heavier. I go in heavier. You see most discretionary traders trade that way. Things that look good tell me it's a good idea to put risk on in the market, but you probably want to have about $225 worth of risk on the market. I put that reduced amount of risk on. Not for beginners. I think most guys would do better with a fixed amount per trade, a fixed dollar amount per trade, position size accordingly with minis or micros, and have some stricter risk management rules, some guardrails. That's just my humble opinion. When it comes to the trading itself, I think more discretion is okay. That's a part of what this edge is in the market. Applying your intuition, applying your discretion, formulating a process of journaling, of back testing that encourages you to build that experience, to build that intuition, It's something that a lot of guys don't talk about, because it's a lot easier for me to come on and say, I have the magic strategy. You guys watch me trade live, right? I only trade live 2 times a week, and sometimes I take some wins. And when I do, I tell you, pay me, and I will give you the golden holy grail, and you'll be able to trade this way. It's rules based, and at this time of the day, you do this, and stop loss goes here, and take profit goes here, and it's a 1.5 or 2 to 1 risk to reward. I haven't seen it work. Never. I've had conversations with guys that code, PhDs, software developers, that code for a living. That's their MO. Almost every rules-based strategy that they come across doesn't work. Most stuff that they come across is not rules-based. It's not objective rules-based. It's discretion being applied, subjectivity. So I believe that's a big part of me making steps in the right direction. Simplifying my trading was one. Recognizing the discretionary nature of trading was another big piece. Starting to focus on psychology and mindset and ways that I could build that experience, build that intuition, have guardrails in place, have a good strict risk management plan and guardrails there as well. But to utilize that as a large portion of my edge in the markets. That's my yap for today. Andre Thomas says, I didn't realize there was 2 Andres in here, so I apologize. I was probably mixing you guys up before. I know who I'm talking to when I see Alpha Spark. Andre Thomas, I hope you're in Discord, but there's another Andre that is a top contributor in my community, so apologize if I mixed you guys up before. But Andre says, can't imagine trading live in front of people right now. Hats off to you and everyone that does it. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I wouldn't say it's particularly easy. It definitely adds another level of pressure, right? But in my book, the way that I combat that is I want to show what real trading looks like, the way that I trade. And if that means I have to come on here and take 2 losses, a day, back to back, multiple days, that's what happens. That's what really happens. So I think it's important for guys to see that, to jump on and see somebody take a win every day, or to only show the wins, or these unrealistic expectations that get built is not helpful, So I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's I don't think it's easy for anybody that trades live, but in my humble opinion, it's the only way to, first off, executing things live and showing it in live market conditions. It's the only way to really show what the trading is, but it's also the only way to show what you're doing, or that maybe you have the ability to make money in the markets consistently. Everything and anything else that I've come across can be documented, or can be altered, or BS'd. We were talking about MT4 and the stuff that I've seen that can be done with, broker statement is a PDF with MT4 and terminals and things with different brokers. Man, you can make it seem whatever way that you want, and results after the fact, sure. So I think if you're going to trade, if you're going to teach, if you're going to put content out, you want to put the content out of you doing the thing that you're talking about live over a long period of time, and then let people decide whether or not they want to pay attention to you. Whether or not you're any good at what you do, whether or not your system, your approach, your strategy resonates with them. All of that stuff. But my FX book or all that stuff, don't need to show me any of it. And even combines or withdrawals, that's great. I could say, you hop on into a group and, oh man, we made $10,000 to get today on a live account. What I don't know is that you lost $100,000 over the last, week getting to that $10,000 win. So, it's live trading for me, but I appreciate that. I understand what you mean. We got to straighten Discord too. Yeah, I got you, man. Still watching the market. Not happy. Happy we took profit. Right, bottom ticked that one. This is the position, guys. This was the fill, the actual fill, which is nice. Ah, you see, you guys with your different name, different names. I could never get anybody right. But what's up? We got people hopping in Discord. Welcome if you're hopping in Discord from the chat. Welcome in, brother. Happy to have you guys here. Happy to have you with us in the community early on, man. It's only been like 2 months, a month and a half. I don't know how long with the actual Discord. First piece of content I put out was beginning of February. So we're early on this. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, everybody's got a different name. You guys got different names at Discord, different names on YouTube, on Instagram. I'm hopping on Twitter. Make sure I get that platform locked down. You guys got different names all over the place. So I never know who the hell I'm talking to, but I appreciate you being here, and I'll try. All the way back up to prior day high, back into this range. We did not continue. We didn't have follow through to the downside. Was looking short here, but this doesn't fit really. Even if I'm watching Bookmap and say I think more orders are down here, we're going to fill. Because we really didn't crack this low. If I was going to get short again, just to kind of explain my reasons for taking trades and not taking trades, my discretion, I can't teach that to you. I can't give you my experience, but I can maybe accelerate it a little bit by talking about what I see and when I see it, my perspective. Had we broken down below this low, down below these lows, and had, we got down here and maybe hesitated, and we got some follow through, then we cracked back up, I might be more inclined. I would be way more inclined to take a short. This looks way more bearish price action and structure. Right now we're headed higher. I think we're going to drift up. We got orders stacking up. Let me show you guys Bookmap. I think we're going to drift up. Look at what popped up on the chart, right? This was not here before. We had a little bit, small amount of volume here at 42 and a half. Look what we got now. Orders stacking up here. Not an enormous amount, relative to what's on the chart. Not a ton, but definitely orders there, right? Above that pre-market high level. Highs of the day. That's where it's at. 56, 42 and a half. So, to me, this looks like we got potential to drift higher. We do have some more orders, like you just saw, if you were paying attention there, at 32 and a half as well. Yeah, right here, right down at pre-market low. Interesting to see how those levels line up, right? I like the levels that I like. You find levels that you like, back test them, forward test them, find stuff that works for you. For me, pre-market high, pre-market low, prior day high, prior day low, volume point and control, and 15-minute opening range, which I don't have on this chart. I have it hidden somewhere up here. I had it hidden somewhere up here. What the hell? Yeah, I throw these on the chart sometimes when I see fit, when I see them useful. Sometimes it's just too much on my chart. Anchored VWAPs and session VWAP. That's my chart. Same thing every day. Nothing special. The most common stuff that everybody uses. Or common stuff that a lot of traders use, I'll say. Let's get back over here. Cool. Yeah, so let's see what happens. I'm gonna watch this now. We're in the range, right back to the middle, right? This is your fixed range volume profile tool. This lets you drag and drop a horizontally plotted volume tool that gives you a profile. I'm dragging it from the beginning of New York session to where we traded so far. You could see the high area of volume right here. This is what we call the point of control, the highest area of volume for whatever you're looking at. Obviously, if I change the amount of time on this, that will change where we're at. But yeah, we're right back to that area of high volume, right at the VWAP. Volume weighted average price. It's the VWAP tool. I find the VWAP gets a little bit more laggy as more information gets it moves less, wherever it is, it starts to move less as time goes on and more volume gets traded. That's why I like anchored VWAPs. A little bit different information, but can be helpful as well. So I feel like at school, teachers ask us, write your name. Yeah. Andre Thomas says, best thing down is to close the charts for me personally. I'm in the beginner phase where I give massive profits back. Bad habit of mine. For sure, man. I'm not really looking at taking another trade right now, coming right into the 12 p.m. I'm on here watching to see if something presents itself. If you made money, lock yourself out. There's no problem with wrapping it up for the day, especially if you've been trading for a few hours and saying, I'm done. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to keep these profits. It is an important thing to do, to just not make your money and give that back. Common saying is, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. That is a good axiom. Or I don't know if that's an axiom or not. Saying, let's say. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Right now, like if gun to my head, if you said you could only use the book map chart to take a trade, I'm going long to 42 and a half. So, let's see. Let's see what that trade would look like. Or rather how it plays out. Yeah, it's the top. Let's say we came to 42 and, we go with a 1-to-1, let's just say for conversation's sake. I'm not in this trade, just marking something up on my chart, guys. I don't love it because I would definitely want I would want to get below a low, right? I'd want to get below some level of structure. There's also orders down here at 32, right at this pre-market low. So, I don't love this, but if I'm looking at the area where there's the most amount of orders stacking up outside of the liquidity, the orders that kind of trail above and below price on Bookmap, this would be it, right at 56.42. Yeah, I would think I would even want to go like that. Again, showing you guys what I'm looking at on Bookmap. Like I promised, we would talk about Bookmap. That's what I'm looking at right there. This area of high volume. Here's what I'm talking about, having orders right at that pre-market low level, the 32 and a half level. But we could see this these orders start to come on the book here, right at the highs of the day. So again, not taking this trade. Don't love the way I would structure risk. Not convinced that we're going to see it. To the gentleman that asked, would you go long at the bottom of the range? You could have got long where I closed out my short, and you would have had a real nice trade there. From the bottom to the top, 7.5 points on the table, 30 ticks up for grabs. But if you guys got questions, feel free. Ask them in the chat. You know the drill. Welcome in. Welcome to the show. Happy to have you here with me, watching some live trading. If you're not in free Discord, join the free Discord. I don't know what you're doing, man. If you like the video and you feel like helping me out with a like or a subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate that. If not, you don't have to do nothing, man. Free means free. That's what I always say. If I'm going to say something's free, I'm not going to demand anything for you. I might ask you to help me out. Give me your input. This way I can give you what you want. I ask questions and put polls everywhere. Help me out with the stuff that I put out. I want to give the people what they want while showing the stuff that I think will actually help people. Yeah, Andre AlphaSpark says, you and I think similarly. For losses, for example, have a 3-loss rule, 3 losses and I'm out. 3-loss rule is a good rule. For most beginner traders, I'd say right around that 3 to 4 loss limit for the day. You could put 2 or 3 consecutive losses, if that's more important, is important. I think you would want to have a consecutive loss limit, a max loss limit as far as dollars go, and a quantity of loss limit. One other tool that I've talked about with guys that I've worked with, I'll give you guys some game here, to curb over trading, to curb tilt, to curb making another trading decision before you have the time to really reset. I think putting a timeout limit, I know that sounds corny, like we're little kids in school, but putting a time in between trades. So whether it's any trade or whether it's a losing trade, mandatory 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, depends what time frame you're trading on, timeout in between trades. Something like 5 to 10 minutes, I think, is pretty safe. In my experience and in my humble opinion, unless you're flipping to the opposite direction, which is a pretty advanced move to do, jumping directly back in after taking a loss under the 5-minute time frame of kind of reassessing, that loss being crystallized and then reading the market with a fresh perspective, you're probably worse off than if you waited. Again, just my humble opinion. So that's an interesting one. I don't hear a ton of guys talk about it. It's something that I talked about with a gentleman that I was working with last, that I think helped him dealing with a little bit of over trading, getting involved really early on in the markets, doing well, and then kind of having some tough days. If that's coming from over trading, put a mandatory timeout in there and see how that affects your trading, along with your loss limit. Not corny at all. Put a shot clock on yourself. Yeah, dude. Put a timer. Put a shot clock on. Again, for me, like that was a big thing for me, and I think for a lot of other guys really early on. You get stopped out, and then you immediately jump back in the same direction of the trade. If you're doing that, pump the brakes, man. What the hell are we doing? That was your invalidation level. That was the area where you said, I want to be out of this trade. I think it's no longer likely to work out if it gets to this level. You immediately jump back in at that level in the same direction. I hear and see a lot of guys do that. Uncommon to see me do that. I don't like to say I won't do anything because I'm very discretionary, but that's not a great one to take. If you tightened up your stop loss and you got stopped out at break even, or in profit, and you're trying the same similar trade again, maybe more structure forms, after a couple minutes at least that go by and you want to take that trade again, sure, that makes sense. But the immediately jumping back into the market most times is just not it, guys. I think the place where it can work is the flipping direction, where you're wrong, you get out and you say, I know I want to be long at this level because I know I no longer want it to be short. And if that was kind of pre-planned or planned during the trade and you're pulling one of those, that can be okay. But I think the vast majority of traders, and my humble non-financial advice, would do well with a shot clock, 5 minutes or 10 minutes after you take a loss. If for nothing else, to clear your mind, to clear the emotion, the stress of taking that loss, whether you're a professional trader or not, having to make those decisions and watch that happen, being able to step away and come back fresh, read the chart again, forget about the loss. Market doesn't care whether you won or lost, and start reading that price action again from there. Can be helpful, very helpful. Will save you a lot of time and headaches. Yeah, man. That's it. Sounds good, bro. I agree. Mark Douglas said in a seminar, there was a study made by University of Michigan that concluded the human brain can only do 2 emotional, I know exactly the one, I've watched it, 2 emotional decisions per day. After 2 emotional decisions, our brain will operate on other things, usually bad feelings. Yeah, so I am a believer that you've got a fuel tank, right? And you come down to the charts and that fuel tank is full. As you go on throughout the day trading, you're taking away that ability to manage your emotions, to self-regulate, to be able to control your responses. You get fatigued, just like in anything else. I know we're sitting at a desk with our feet up in the AC, so I'm not comparing it to laboring, but just the same way anything else, as you go on throughout the day, you get that mental fatigue. So recognize that. There's a point of diminishing returns. Get your trading in, but set your limits for yourself within reason, and review your data. Be honest with yourself. Review your journal. If you're not journaling, I don't know what to tell you. You're on your own, but you should be journaling to some degree or another. I won't make this a journaling talk, but review your journal and then get that feedback loop. Don't make changes every day or every week. Wait till you have a nice large portion size to start to look at trends and do a little bit more of what works and a little bit less of what doesn't. But get a feedback loop going, through your broker, through your performance stats, maybe on Top Step X, through your journal where you're journaling what happened, the why and what happened behind that. Journal your emotions and how you felt. Did you sleep well? Did you eat well? All those things go into it. How many trades did you take that day? When were you trading? Maybe you notice, hey, after 4 trades, things go south more often than they go north by the vast majority. My 5th trade, my 6th trade, they're almost never winners. You should probably stop doing that. But your journal, your feedback loop is going to tell you. We're all different. Maybe you're a max 2 trade per day type of guy. Maybe you're a max 5 trade per day type of guy, whether they're wins or losses. Your data will tell you that, and you have to continue to collect it and journal and review and have that ongoing feedback loop. If not, you're leaving a huge, valuable piece of information on the table. So, so we're into New York lunch, guys. 12:05. I'm looking at wrapping it up here. I'm going to leave this position tool on my chart. Again, not in this trade, obviously. You would see it here with the P&L running. I'm going to leave this on my chart just to see what happens. Orders are still up there on Bookmap. I'll show you guys real quick. We still got orders up here around that 42, 41 and a half. We still got that stuff sitting up here. Again, we got even, you could see the increasing amount of orders stacking up right around that 56.32 level. The lows, not the lows, the pre-market low, this area that was kind of rejected multiple times. That's where I got this level from, pre-market low. So we'll see. Do we come down here? Do we come up here? Do we not go to any of those places? Do we blast through? What happens? But like I said, Bookmap's been really, really, really interesting to look at so far. I'm finding it very helpful. I think a lot of other guys find learning order flow to be the next step in their trading, and I'm happy to share that with you guys. So, cheers, my brother Zach. Going to do a mentorship. Yeah, talk to you later. Nice stream, bro. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Did the same short. Nice, man. Glad to hear it, Alpha Spark. Glad to hear you made some money. Everybody else, we had a nice winning trade right here. Made some money up on the day. Nothing major. A little bit of profit. If this was an XFA, I'd be happy that we hit that $200 daily target towards making a payout, but making small progress there. So thank you guys for hopping on. I appreciate you being here. I'll be live all the rest of the week. Hop in the free Discord. If you're not in the free Discord and you're here, I don't know what you're doing. You're missing out on a community of traders, market insights, news every day, my chart pre-market every day, as long as I'm trading, with voice memo. Yeah, man, all the good stuff. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for being here. Read the disclaimer on the bottom. Remember, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. And I will see you guys in Discord. Talk to you guys later. Thanks.